That flame-throwing monster is putting down 2,000 pound-feet of torque, and it was built before your great-grandparents were born. It's not even our winner tonight.
Start with the name most people have never heard, Deus Automotives. A startup out of Vienna, Austria, teamed up with Ital Design and Williams Advanced Engineering, the same outfit behind championship-winning Formula One technology, to build an EV hypercar called the Vayanne. On paper, the numbers are absurd. 2,243 horsepower, 1,505 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds, a top speed north of 248 miles per hour from an 85 kilowatt-hour battery good for over 300 miles of range. Here's the catch. Those figures are still computer simulated, not dyno verified. Only 99 will ever be built, and as of this recording, not one customer car has turned a wheel on an independent track. Until that changes, the Vayanne opens our list as a promise, not yet a legend.
Bugatti just did something that sounds backwards. After 20 years of turbocharging everything in sight, they ripped the turbos off entirely for their new flagship, the Tourbillon. Under that long hood sits an all-new 8.3-liter V16, naturally aspirated screaming to 9,000 RPM, co-developed with Cosworth, the same name behind decades of Formula One engines. Alone, that engine makes 986 horsepower and 664 pound-feet. Respectable, not list-topping. So how does a naturally aspirated engine end up on a torque countdown at all? 3 hidden electric motors, 2 up front, 1 out back, quietly filling every gap the V16 leaves behind. Combined 1,800 horsepower, 1,696 pound-feet, 0 to 62 in 2 seconds flat, on to 276 miles per hour with the speed key engaged. Only 250 will ever be built, and the man now running Bugatti's entire operation? Keep that name in mind, Mate Rimac. It's gonna come up again tonight.
Pininfarina has shaped Ferraris, Maseratis, and Alfa Romeos for nearly a century, every single one wearing someone else's badge. The Battista is the first car this legendary Italian design house has ever built and sold under its own name, and it does not hold back. 1,874 horsepower, 1,726 pound-feet of torque, sent to all 4 wheels through 4 independent electric motors, the same core powertrain technology developed by that Croatian company we just mentioned. 0 to 60 in under 1.8 seconds, top speed 217 miles per hour. Only 150 will ever exist, each one hand-finished in Italy, running on a 120 kilowatt-hour battery for roughly 300 miles of range. Proof that a 100-year-old coach builder can still build something this violent.
The Rimac Nevera already rewrote the record books once. The R version exists purely to break its own records. New aerodynamics, a fixed rear wing adding 30% more downforce, retuned 4-wheel torque vectoring. The result? 2,107 horsepower and 1,726 pound-feet of torque, tied gear for gear with the Battista you just heard about. Here's the number that actually matters. A quarter mile in 7.9 seconds, and a run from a standstill to 250 miles per hour and back down to 0 in under 26 seconds total. That's not a typo. This car can hit 250 and stop again faster than most sports cars need just to reach 60. Only 40 will ever be built, starting at $2.5 million. Before the R version, there was the car that started this entire EV hypercar arms race, the standard Rimac Nevera. 4 motors, 1 per wheel, 1,914 horsepower, 1,741 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in as little as 1.74 seconds, top speed 258 miles per hour. In a single day of testing in 2022, the Nevera set 23 separate acceleration and braking records, not 23 cars beaten, 23 individual world records from one car in one afternoon. And the man who built this thing in a garage back in 2009, converting a used BMW into his very first electric prototype, that's Mate Rimac, the same person who now runs Bugatti, the company that just gave us entry number 9. One founder, 2 hypercar legends on the same list.
Here's where this list gets genuinely strange. Meet the Roading Roadster Electric, a 2011 concept built by a tiny German sports car maker and the electronics giant Siemens. Horsepower? 326. That's it. Less than a fifth of what some cars on this list are making. But torque? 1,844 pound-feet, enough to outmuscle the Bugatti Tourbillon and both Rimac Neveras you just heard about, combined into one lopsided little roadster. The secret is in-wheel hub motors, electric motors mounted directly inside each wheel, delivering peak torque instantly with zero gearing losses in between. It was never built to be sold. It was a rolling laboratory for cordless inductive charging and ultra-efficient regenerative braking, and Siemens capped its top speed at just 99 miles per hour on purpose. A car nobody remembers, quietly out-torquing machines worth $2.5 million.
The Laffite Atrax looks like it should be crawling over boulders, not chasing hypercar records. It's an electric SUV/hypercar from an Italian startup unveiled in Miami in 2023, built with genuine off-road suspension and a butterfly-doored on-road Stradale version 2. 1,151 horsepower, 1,844 pound-feet of torque, tied dead even with the rotting you just heard about. 0 to 62 in 3.8 seconds, which almost sounds slow for this list, until you remember this thing weighs nearly 4,850 pounds and still pulls that number off. With a 2+1 seating for a passenger and a kid in back, 350 kilowatt fast charging, and just 26 units ever planned, starting at $1.69 million, the Atrax proves torque doesn't care whether your hypercar looks like a supercar or a Land Cruiser.
The Koenigsegg Regera doesn't have a gearbox, no clutch, no shifting period. Just one direct connection from the engine straight to the rear wheels through a system Koenigsegg calls direct drive. In base form, it's already making 1,500 horsepower. But order the rare environmental power upgrade, a $250,000 option that runs on E85 fuel, and the real numbers come out. 1,757 horsepower, 1,955 pound-feet of torque, almost 2,000 pound-feet delivered through a single fixed gear, all the way to 400 kilometers per hour, 0 to that speed and back to 0 in under 20 seconds. Only 80 Regeras exist in total, and most owners never even check the environmental power upgrade box. This is the rare among rare.
Now forget everything modern. This is the car from our opening shot, the Fiat S76, nicknamed the Beast of Turin, built in 1910. Under that impossibly long hood, a 28.5-liter four-cylinder engine. That is not a typo. 28.5 liters in 4 cylinders with multiple spark plugs per cylinder and an overhead camshaft, decades ahead of anything else on the road. Only 2 were ever built. Output was around 300 horsepower at a time when most cars on Earth made 20. And the torque? Historians place it at roughly 2,000 pound-feet, close enough to challenge nearly every modern hypercar you've heard tonight, using nothing but raw displacement and zero electronics. Fiat's own test driver, Felice Nazzaro, drove it exactly once and refused to ever get back in. One chassis vanished into a Russian aristocrats collection, then Australia, then decades of obscurity, before a restorer named Duncan Pittaway spent years hunting down the pieces and brought it roaring back to life. 115 years later, it still scares people. And after Bugattis, Rimacs, and a flame-throwing antique, the single highest torque car ever built is, of all things, a family car. Sort of. The Koenigsegg Gemera, its name literally means give more in Swedish, seats 4 people. It has a trunk, and it still produces 2,300 horsepower from a hybrid V8 borrowed from Koenigsegg's own Jesko hypercar, paired with a single powerful electric motor. The torque figure, 2,028 pound-feet. Available from idle, no waiting for revs, no turbo lag, just instant continuous force the second you touch the pedal. 0 to 60 in 1.8 seconds, top speed 249 miles per hour, with room for the kids in the back.
From a flame-spitting 1910 monster making roughly 2,000 pound-feet with pure cubic inches to a hybrid megacar making just slightly more, over 100 years of engineering came right back around to the same idea. More torque, more control, more force the instant you ask for it. That's the number that actually moves you.
10 cars, one number that mattered more than horsepower the entire time. If these torque figures blew your mind, my most powerful cars video pushes it even further, linked right here.